Hi, so today I am just going to answer one of the most commonly asked questions I get, which is how did I learn Spanish? Um, so it really just starts with a desire to learn, really. So back in ninth grade, I took a human geography class and we learned about Esperanto, which is one of the world's most popular conlangs, which is basically just a constructed language, meaning someone created it. So it didn't just develop naturally over time. Someone actually sat down and said, hey, I want to make a language, which to me was just such an amazing concept. Like, that you can create a language with which people can communicate. That just really sparked my interest. And so I got really into linguistics and how languages are made and how they work and all that. So I actually started developing my own conlang or constructed language, and it was really fun. But then I kind of realized, like, well, no one's gonna know this. No one's gonna actually learn this. Um, and it wasn't like Esperanto, which was developed to be a language that um, like anyone can learn to converse with people. It was developed based on, and it kind of took roots from all the different Romance languages, so that it'd be easy for anyone who speaks English, Spanish, French, any of that to learn it and be like a universal language. Mine was just for fun. So I realized, like, no one's going to know this besides me and maybe my friends, but no one's gonna really use it. And so I ended up deciding to put my efforts into learning Spanish because I had been taking, Spanish classes in high school. And so I was like, well, I'm interested in languages. I might as well, put my efforts towards something that I can actually use and communicate with people. And that's like the most beautiful thing about learning a different language is the culture and the people, because it's just so unique and so different that you can talk to someone in a completely different language than what you grew up with. It's an amazing experience, and you just get to learn about the culture of, and especially Spanish. There's so many different Spanish speaking countries that everyone has its unique culture and accent and everything like that. So it's really interesting. So that's where I kind of got my spark to start learning Spanish. Because I had taken it as courses in school, but until then it was just another class. And I think that's what it is for most people, is just a class that they take, and they learn a little bit. They can say like "Hola, cómo estás?" Bien, and that's it. And life goes on, and they forget. Um, and but I'd always been interested in languages, and in elementary school, I would we would make little ciphers for English. It's just like a code, where basically you just replace each letter in English with a little symbol you make up, and then you can pass notes with your friends. But so that I started from a young age really interested in languages and communicating like that. Um, and so those ciphers later developed into a full conlang, like I said, after I learned about Esperanto. But yeah, eventually I just decided that I should probably put my effort towards Spanish, because I can actually communicate with people, and that's honestly the best part, is that you can just talk to people and meet people and experience their world. It's really unique and really interesting. So um, how can you learn Spanish, or learn whatever language it is that you want to learn? So people ask me, and first, the most important thing is, like I've just talked about, is that you need to have the desire to learn. You want to be excited about it. Um, and so if you don't have that, then you're probably not going to go very far, and you're going to be like, well, this is just boring. And it's perfectly fine if you're not interested, but just know that if you don't really have the passion for it, then you're probably not going to stay dedicated. Um, but for a lot of people, communicating with people is amazing. Um, and so One thing is movies. That's a great way. Very entertaining, kind of passively learning, I guess you can say. Netflix is a great place. You can um, watch languages or watch movies in your target language, and then you can have subtitles in your native language to start, so that you can still know what's going on, and then as you get better, you can start putting the subtitles on for your target language, um, and then eventually have no subtitles. But that's very difficult because native speakers tend to speak really fast, and so watching a movie entirely, 2 hours of just pure speaking is going to be really tough. Um, but yeah, so for Spanish, on Netflix, at least if you're in the U.S., I've watched this movie. It's called Losers, um, basically losers. But it's really good. It's about like a Peruvian, an Argentinian, and a Chilean. They all meet up, and so it's really interesting, and it shows the differences in cultures between the Argentines, the Peruvians, and Chileans, and so not only does it help you learn the language, but you're also going to be realizing these cultural differences and uniqueness, and it's so beautiful. But not only native Spanish movies, but you can also just watch English movies that have been dubbed or whatever it's called, into your target language. In this case, Spanish. And that helps because if you've already seen the movie in English, once or multiple times, then watching it in your target language is going to be a lot easier, because you're gonna kind of have an idea of what's happening. You're not just gonna be like, oh my goodness, I have no idea what's going on. I don't understand anything. So if you've already seen the movie, that can help. And yeah, so to start, put English subtitles, and then as you get better, put the language subtitles that you're trying to get. So yeah, watching movies is a really great way, and just studying on your own. Like I do these videos on Omegle, where you just actually talk with native speakers and just have normal conversations. Because in school they teach you in like chunks of like a topic. Like we learned about like cleaning or cooking, or like going on an adventure or something like that, and that's great. But a lot of that vocabulary, most people aren't going to use, right? Like they don't need to know what a sendero is, or something like that. They want to, yeah, be able to actually talk with people and have a conversation. And so Omegle is good for that. It is a weird site, but you can just connect with people and just talk, and just talk with natives, and that's what languages are for. And so I think that's a really good thing to do as well, is just to start speaking. And if you do live in like a big city like New York, there are a lot of cultural neighborhoods. Like if you guys know Xiaoma, he learned Mandarin, and so he's also trying to learn Spanish now. But he lives in New York City, and so he can just go to Chinatown, and just talk with people. And in New York, there's also large Hispanic neighborhoods, so just talking with people is great. And even if even if you make mistakes, that's good, because most people are just going to be happy that you are trying to learn their language. Like, so often on Omegle, I get on there and they're like, "Oh, it's a Gringo," and then you speak their language and they're like, "What? You speak Spanish?" So it's really great to see that they're just happy that you're learning, and they're amazed that you're putting the effort in to try and communicate with them in their native language. So yeah, really just talking with people is the best way, honestly. Um, like all these vocabulary that they teach you in school, like it is useful. You are going to want to learn a lot of different vocabulary, but um, at the core, like, you're going to want to know how to have a conversation with someone. That's you know so just talking with people is great. Like Skype, if you have people on there, or there's an app called Tandem, where you can just talk with native people. So basically, it connects you with someone that like they're trying to learn your native language and you're trying to learn theirs. And so you can just talk, and it's just talking with normal people and just having conversations. And yeah, that's the best way to learn. And then yeah, so school is great. It does teach you, especially like the basic conjugations and stuff, but it doesn't really teach you what you need to know to just talk with people. So learning on your own and learning different cultural and regional slang words, and just because in the United States we don't talk like hello, how are you, you say hey, what's up, or something like that. So just learning things like that can be really helpful as well. So yeah, that's basically it. Just really want to learn your language, have a passion for it, just talk with people. That's the best thing. You can watch movies, use apps like Tandem. um, yeah, so that's really all I have for you guys. So keep learning, guys.